you talked about a little bit about gambling, and it, as a fan who's never worked for a league, particularly odd to hear somebody that works for a league talk about gambling, but it's now a part of the culture and kind of a part of being a sports fan, right? Um, Interested, how has that process gone for you? How do you think fans, and do you kind of think fantasy is gonna be diminished by gambling, or is there a space for both of them to coexist?
I think there's a space for both of them to coexist, like when you're talking about either the season long or like any type of weekly fantasy game where it's different and it's based on a larger sample size. I think the props market has certainly diminished daily fantasy. There's no secret about that. I mean, 3, 4 years ago, we were really, when betting wasn't really legalized in any states, we were pretty in heavy with daily fantasy and stuff, and we still cover it, and some people still play it, but the props market has taken over, and the betting market overall is, kind of dictating the whole industry right now, and the revenue from a lot of these companies to go along with it. So, yeah, it's been fun to kind of see it all play out and how even just a couple of years ago when we start, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago when we started our podcast Fantasy on Ice, and there was no betting talk at all. We weren't really even able to touch it in terms of discussing on our show. And, now we have a daily betting article on NHL.com that myself and my colleague handle. And, it's something where we had like through the years, we have worked with Action Network. We still work with them. We collaborate with them on our Bet 365 podcast. And the article is Betway in the US, and the Bet 365 is in Canada. So you have your territories to go along with, like, and there are different legalities that go along with those things. So yeah, one crazy thing is that, like, since I've been doing some of the betting content and stuff, I've actually been working more with like the legal team at the NHL to hash everything out. That's not something that I was ever really doing for fantasy content or in my job at all in the past. But it's the reality that it's like just it's a different animal, and it has, your guidelines and different things, rules to follow and stuff like that.
You mentioned your versatility on campus as at Penn State, the things you were doing, and then just with that answer about dealing with the legal team. I'm curious, what's been your biggest learning curve during your career? Like the versatility, I assume, served you well, but where have you had to make the biggest growth professionally to be able to do what you're doing now?
I mean, I think the versatility was always there, and I thank Penn State for that every day for sure. I think like dealing with all the different not just dealing with, collaborating with. There are not that many people at the league that collaborate with like as many departments as I do, and I'm proud of that. I think we've achieved a lot of great success in a lot of different areas that wouldn't be possible without working together. So that type of teamwork is was definitely a learning curve, and you have to like find that balance between advocating for yourself and the work that you're capable of doing, but also not, trying to shake everything up and make everybody seem like you think you know what you're doing and they don't, but kind of like reinforce that you can help each other out and achieve some great things. And like the sponsorships we've had are as a result of collaboration between multiple departments. And it's something that's like one of the most fun parts of my job. And that was not really something that I ever dealt with in college, obviously. So you work with a lot of, different people in different fields and different expertise. You lean on them for what they're good at, and they lean on you for what you're good at, and try to work together and find that common goal and then go out there and achieve it.
Nice.